Hi guys, I'm Maryam. Welcome back to my channel. Today's tutorial is going to be featuring this dark Glam Grunge smoky look and a dark lippy. I was super inspired by the Naked Smoky palette, aka the Naked 4. I'm a big fan of the Naked series, so I had to utilize this one and come up with something winter appropriate, something a little bit darker and cooler. So I really hope you like this one. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, follow along on my Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and on my blog. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching, for subscribing. Mwah! Alright guys, so here is my bare face. My eyebrows are already on and I'm going to start with my eyes. There's actually no wrong or right to the order in which you want to do your makeup. You can definitely do your foundation first and then your eyes, or you can do your eyes and then the foundation, which is what I'm going to do today because I'm going to be using darker colors. So if you're going to be using darker eyeshadows or pigments or especially glitter, I recommend doing it this way. That way you can wipe off any excess fallout that goes on your face and start your foundation. I'm priming my lids with Kat Von D primer that I love. You guys have heard me rave about it time and time again because it is just that good. Applying it all over my lids, lower lash line, corners, and blending it out towards my brow bone. Next I'm picking up NYX Black Base, and it's a sticky base. I'm going to apply it to the outer and inner corners of the eye and then blend the transitions. Does not have to be perfect. Looks super creepy. And then I'm going to blend out the harsh lines or the harsh edges with a stiff blending brush. And by stiff, I mean that it looks like this. It's not like all over the place. Next, I'm going to pick up a fluffy brush. So see, this one bends a lot easier. And now I'm going to pick up this gray, plummy sort of shade from the Naked 4 palette. It's called Password. And I'm going to apply this shadow right into the top part of my crease. You don't want anything harsh here. You just want a soft gradient effect, like a wash of color. Every time the weather gets cold, I just want to wear cooler tones. I don't know what it is about me. I get very inspired by the weather. We've actually really been spoiled in New York with great weather. It's been super warm and not seasonal, I would say. But it's finally getting there. It's finally feeling cold. And I don't know if I'm ready, to be honest. Okay, so now that I've applied this eyeshadow, I can tell you exactly why I prefer to do my foundation first. I just think it looks so much more aesthetically pleasing when the base of your makeup, your foundation, is actually perfected. Because when you start putting on these steps of smoky eyeshadow, you begin to look really crazy. But anyway, we'll get there soon. For the next couple of steps, I'm going to be using these two shades, Combust and 13. I'm going to start with Combust, and I'm going to apply it directly under my eyebrow to clean up that smoke and to sharpen my brow. I'm using a stiff angled brush. I believe this one is Sonia Kashuk that you can get at Target or maybe online. I'm using the lighter shade 13 directly under the heaviest part of my brow, which is right here. That way the eye doesn't look so closed up and your eyebrow doesn't create that unflattering shadow over your eye. Next, I'm picking up this gray gunmetal shade called Dagger. And I'm going to apply it to the center and the inner portion of my lid. I'm using Sigma Exact Blend E32 brush. It's a short little eyeshadow brush for packing on eyeshadow. And of course, I will list and link all the products, tools, brushes down in the description below. I'm going to flip the brush and I'm going to pick up this shade, this deep dark, almost black color called Black Market. And it has a bit of a sparkle in it, so it's got some interest. It's not a pure black, like an off black with some subtle shine, shimmer to it. I'm applying it to the outer corner and the outer third of the lid. I'm also sort of encircling this space right here. I'm surrounding it with the darker shadow to add to the gradient and to the smokiness. And I'm also keeping my fluffy brush handy so I can blend out any harsh edges. Okay, so now that I've packed on most of the dark eyeshadow onto my eye, I'm just gonna take a makeup wipe and I'm gonna clean up my face underneath to see if there's any fallout that I can remove. And just freshen up my face for my foundation application. I'm gonna come back to the eyes, but first I wanna do my foundation. And I'm gonna apply my Dermalogica Ageless Primer all over my porous areas, all over any fine lines, like right here under the eyes, or any areas that tend to get oily, like right here, right here, and around the nose area. Okay, I'm gonna be using my Too Faced Born This Way foundation in Sand. I used to use Caramel because I was a little bit darker, had a fresh little tan, but I feel like my skin tone is back to being pale. So I'm gonna go back to using my normal shade, which is Sand. I'm gonna apply it all over my face with a stippling brush. That is once again linked down below. And I'm just gonna speed through this, you guys. You've seen me do this a million times. Now I'm squeezing out the shade Caramel, which is my shade for when I'm tan. And I'm using the smaller brush to apply the shade to the perimeter of my face, or I guess where I would naturally contour. This also helps to sort of fake a tan. So I'm applying it to the sides of my forehead, to slim it a little, sides of my nose, just to give it some definition. And right here, right underneath the outer portion of my cheekbone. I'm kind of over the whole crazy tribal marks contouring effect, if you know what I mean. So I'm trying to go a little bit lighter. Although when I say that I'm over it, that just means that I kind of want to be over it, like I'm ready for a new trend. But that doesn't mean that I am stopping contouring altogether. It is still part of my routine. I think using two different color foundations also makes it look a lot more natural than if you were to use an actual cream or a powder. This way they kind of just blend seamlessly into each other. Next is my Tarte CC Under Eye Corrector in Medium Tan. Applying it right under my eyes. I'm lucky not to suffer from really deep dark circles, so I just use a very light hand. But for a smoky look like this one, it's good to avoid dark circles. So if you have them, make sure you conceal them well. And highlight this whole area to bring more light to your under eye. For the setting powder, I'm going to use the usual Dermablend translucent setting powder. And I'm going to set this whole area right here. Don't wear dark clothes when you're doing this. It gets all over. But it is makeup, so it does come off. Okay, so once again, I am setting the areas that tend to get oily. So under the eyes, the porous areas, down the nose bridge, the chin, the forehead, between the eyebrows. And I'm also chiseling out my cheekbones ever so slightly right here. So this baking technique sort of acts as a highlighting technique and as a setting powder technique at the same time. And then after you set your makeup, you can dust off any excess. And this will give you a nice, flawless, velvety, highlighted complexion without any of the grease. And for the parts that I didn't set with the translucent powder, I'm going to set with my Infallible Pro Matte powder, and I believe the shade that I'm using is 600. Whoopsie, everything's flying all over the place. 500, Sun Beige. I'm gonna add some brow gel to my brows just to clean up any powder that might have gotten in them. I'm using Eyeko Brow Gel. There we go. I say there we go a lot. I need to stop saying that. That's a parasite. Cutting it out right now. Next, what do I want to do next? Next, I want to go back to the eyes because they're undone, even though they look like two giant black eyes on my face. I'm gonna make them glam. Just watch. First things first, I'm gonna line my waterline and my lower lash line with this gorge pencil, Drama Liquid Pencil from Lancome in the shade, where is the shade? Embrace? Does every girl make this facial expression when she lines her waterline? Like, I can't even do it without it. It just doesn't come out the same. I'm gonna set that liner with Black Market eyeshadow, just in the outer corner and in the outer lower lash line. And for the last part of the eyeshadow, I'm gonna use this shade. It's called Armor. I'm just picking it up with my pinky because my favorite part is to dot the eyeshadow onto the inner corner with my pinky. For some reason it has maximum effect when you do it this way. Then I'm gonna clean up my pinky and dip it into the lightest shimmery shade called High. And I'm gonna dot it right here. I'm also taking the same shade on a stiff angled brush and lining directly under the tear duct. Time for eyeliner. Looks like it came out all right, but now I need to fix this one and make it a tad bit longer. There we go. I said it again! Can I think of a different word for there we go? Voila! Let's be French. Voila! And voila! Okay, time for mascara and falsies. I'm gonna put them on and I'm gonna be back to the rest of the face. Eyelashes and mascara are on. Face is kind of coming together. Now I'm just gonna apply some blush. This is Palladio Bayberry blush. Applying it with the Wayne Gloss brush. For the highlighter, I'm using Becca Champage Pop, just for a little glow. I can't avoid that glow. I'm so addicted to the glow. So face is done, and now I'm gonna show you two variations on the lips. I'm gonna go with a grungier version, and then I'm gonna show you a glam version to kind of play up this smoky eye look. Okay, so this is a lip look number 1, super grunge glam in my opinion. This is Gerard Cosmetics Ice Mocha. Non-transferable. My little brother calls it invisible lipstick because when I kiss him, it doesn't transfer and it's invisible. Isn't that brilliant? And here we have option number 2, Violet Voss lipstick in Risqué. I think this color actually makes the eyeshadow a little bit brighter, like almost more colorful looking. It doesn't look so gray anymore now with this purple tone. It almost has like a bluish tint to it. What do you guys think? Option number 1 or option number 2? Let me know below. And we're all done. Here is the final look. A little bit darker, a little sultrier than my typical go-to, but I kind of prefer it for the cold winter nights. Let me know where you would wear this to. I personally would wear this to a concert, to the supermarket, on a date, see my brother and sister. The list goes on. Thank you guys so much for watching and for subscribing. I love you guys and I'll see you in my next tutorial. Bye.